Hello friends, how are you today? Well, about me, what can I say? I just had a long walk, perspiring, hot here, but still it's very energizing. And the walk, I think it helps me to clear my mind about what I'm going to talk to you about today. So we are already into we have already completed 3 days of our online intensive, and today we are entering the fourth day. And at this point only I got the clear picture of what each one of you are trying to achieve from this online intensive, because the earlier videos I had to make them earlier to be ahead of the game. But anyways, now that I have read from all of you what you want, I will just like to give a glimpse about it, a glimpse of it. Some of you have mentioned that you would like to make some great changes outside in the world, with relationships, with finance, with work. Some of you have mentioned some that you are looking for some very major changes inside, for example, to create a balanced life, to be able to learn to relax, and to be able to flow with the life. So if I can say, many of you are looking for outer changes, many of you are looking for inner changes, and I can assure you that if we go step by step, one step at a time, by the end of the program we will have a clear-cut path how to achieve the changes you are looking for. Now, at this point, when we have already talked about where you are standing in your life, what is your current status, we have already talked about the needs and values, I believe it is the right time to bring in the topic about two different kinds of worlds that we live into. At every moment of our life, we simultaneously exist into two different worlds. One is the world of objects and things, the things that we do outside. Let's call it the outer world. The other one is the inner world, which is the world of our feelings. So for example, the outer world is where you do things, the inner world is where the way you feel about what happens to you. So what happens to you and how you feel about it are two different things, and these are two different worlds. So the reason I am bringing this topic is because some of you want outer changes, some of you want inner changes, some of you want both the kinds of changes. But the important thing to note is that these are two different worlds, and both these worlds have their own rules. You know, think of it like this: the inner world and the outer world are two different games. Now every game has its own rules, and when you play that particular game, you have to play by the rules of that game. For example, football is a game where you have to kick through the leg. Basketball is a game where you have to use your hands. Both the games uses ball, but you cannot apply the rules of football to basketball and the other way around. That is exactly the case with outer world and inner world. The rule of the outer world is that when you want something, you must know exactly what you want. That is, know what you want. Second is, find out a way how to get what you want. Know what you want, how you can get what you want. And the third step is, take action and do something until you achieve what you want. So in the outer world, this is the simple rule of the game. 3 steps: what I want, how I can get it, and do something to get it. Take action. So these 3 things, if you do, that's the only way you can win in the outer world. Unfortunately, since we grew up, or while we were growing up, this is the only game that we have played most often. So we usually know only the rules of this game, and we try to apply the same rules to the inner world. Now, inner world is a totally different world. It is the world where your feelings and emotions and things that happen inside you are there. Now, if you try to apply the rules of the outer world to the inner world, it takes you away from what you want in the inner world. One example. Let us say the feeling of relaxation or easiness or letting go. Now, suppose that is something that you are looking for. Now, that feeling is not something out there. You cannot go and achieve that feeling. That feeling is something that happens inside of you, right? So that is that relaxation is about the inner world. Now, in the inner world, any action that you do to achieve what you are willing to achieve will take you away from what you want. Let me repeat this. In the inner world, let us say there is something about the inner world that you want. Now, any effort that you do to directly achieve the thing of inner world will take you away from what you want in the inner world. The more the effort, the farther away you will go. So coming back to our example about relaxation, if you want to be relaxed and if you try very hard to relax, you will not be able to relax. The simple reason is relaxation means absence of efforts. When there are no efforts, what happens is relaxation. So any effort that you do, and the stronger the effort you do to get relaxed, the more farther away you are going from relaxation. That is the rule of the inner world. You might have noticed the same phenomena very often. I am sure every one of you have noticed this about sleep. One fine day, you are feeling normal, you go to the bed. For some reason, for 15, 20, 30 minutes, you are still in the bed and you have to wake up early in the morning and you couldn't sleep 15, 20 minutes. And then suddenly a thought occurs to you. Oh my God, I am still not asleep. I need to wake up early in the morning. And then you try to sleep. You try to move on this side of the bed and that side of the bed and keep turning around. But the more you do that, the more you go away from the sleep. Hasn't that happened to all of you at least sometimes? So the things that we are looking for about the inner world, for example, peace, relaxation, letting go, these things cannot be found by stronger efforts. These things are naturally coming when the efforts fall down. Now, this is exactly the same thing what I was talking about on the first day in the video, that happiness is a product of the state of not wanting anything else, because when you don't want anything else, when you are in that state, efforts drop, and when efforts drop, there is a deep relaxation. That is a feeling of flowing. That is a feeling of joy and peace. So, you see, you can't fight for peace. You can't struggle for relaxation. They must happen themselves by the dropping of efforts. So that is the rule of the inner world. Anyways, in the course of our next 40 days, we will learn a lot about how or what we can do to enrich our inner world. But at this moment, at this time, we are still dealing with the outer world. So today's topic, we will try to figure out something about the outer world, how we can go move one step further. Imagine you want something. Let's say you want to have a vacation. So when you want a vacation, depending on what you want, what you are looking for, maybe you are looking for some good time on the sea, then you could choose Portugal. If you are looking for some great time in the mountains, you might look for Austria or Georgia. Or if you're looking for some city architecture, you might look for Paris. Or if you're looking for magic mushrooms, you probably know better than me where you would look for. The thing is that based on what we want, we would choose a destination. So here are two components. Based on what we want, and based on that we choose a destination where we will go. Now, once that is decided, once you are clear about that, the next step would be you would choose uh, kind of a transport, and you would decide the path or the way how you could reach there. Let's say you decided that I will take a particular bus, or I will take a particular flight or a train, and there are three possible routes. I will choose this particular route to reach that place. And then you will also make a lot of plans, and you will collect all the resources you might need. Like if you are going to the sea, you might have your swimming bathing costumes, or if you go to the mountains, there will be different things. You will have your camera, so you will collect all the resources which you will require for that journey. And but the main thing is, you will begin your journey from where you are. So you will begin your journey from where you are with all the resources that you have, and you will take a particular transport which goes through a particular path so that it can take you to a particular destination. Why that destination? Because that destination has something to offer to you. That is exactly the thing about any achievement in the outer world. When you want something, that something is based on what you're looking for. So the value is what you're looking for. Based on that value, you choose a particular destination. That this is the point I want to reach. So value decides where or what you should achieve, right? So let's say if you have, for example, the value of security, then because you value security, you might choose to have a job. But if your value is different, if your value is prosperity, you might choose something else. So value represents what you are looking for. In our example of vacation, is it the ocean or the mountain? That is the value. Then based on that, you have made you have decided a particular destination, which is like the final achievement that you will have based on this value. But then I say that you have a transport, like you choose a particular transport. So what represents transport? Goals. Goals are the transports which take us from where we are to where we want to go. And then the path is the plan, how we will achieve that thing. So I mean, there could be 2 or 3 different possible pathways to reach a particular destination. So your plan, your action plan is the path. And the most important thing is, you begin the journey from where you are. So if you did all the practices which I said in the past 3 days, the first day was about taking a stock of our current situation. That means we were trying to identify where we are standing in our life, at which position we are currently standing. And then in the day 2 and the day 3, we were talking about the needs and the values, which gave you an idea about what you are looking from the life. So when you know where you are standing, when you know what you are looking, it becomes easier to decide where you should go, what you should achieve to get these values from where you are standing. So the first 3 days were about where you are and what you are looking for. From now onwards, we will be trying to learn few things about how to achieve or how to reach our destination, how to achieve those outer goals. But at the same time, we will also be collecting the resources. Don't forget, when you go on a vacation, you should never forget things that you will need on the vacation. You know, the beach towel and the beach costume and all those things. The same way, when you are going on an outer achievement journey, don't forget the inner resources that you will require. So over the next few days, we will be collecting several inner resources which you will require for the journey, for making achievements outside. So just to make it clear once again, where you are was the first day. What you are looking for is day 2 and 3. Today, the 4th day, is about to figure out, based on what you want, based on your needs and values, where do you want to reach or what do you want to achieve. So let me give you today's practice, today's task for all of you. You will have a document, like always. It will be in the files folder of our group, and you can download that document. In that document will be in different formats, whichever format works for you. You can choose. The document will be with today's date. So what are we going to do with the use of this document? You see, on the first day we had this thing, we had 19 things, 19 different areas of life we identified, and we tried to put like from 1 to 10 where we are standing. So let's say if you are not in the green zone is 8, 9 and 10. That is where you are very close to satisfaction. So any area where you are not in the green zone, what it means, if you are at 6, 7, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, what it means is that you have still not been able to achieve something of value in that particular area. If you would have achieved your value, you would be closer to satisfaction. Just because you are not there proves that there is still something to be achieved in this particular area. So what do we do with today's task? We take the document from the first day, we see it again, which are the areas where we need to work, where we are in the orange and the yellow or the red zone, that is from 1 until 6. And then in today's document there is another column. If you see the second column, the second column is about values or the needs. So the first column is the area. In the first column, let's say the area is about financial status. Now suppose you mention only 4, you rated it to be only 4. So what you do here is, in the next column you find out what value you are missing, because of which you only mark it 4 and not 10. So let's say you find out that in your finance you have enough money to survive, but you don't have enough money to expand. So let's say that the value in that case you are missing is, you have security but you are missing prosperity. So write down that the value or the need which is missing is this one. Now based on this value or the need, we go on to the next column. The next column, you note down what would a 10 look like for you in this particular area. So let's say, assume that now if you are already in the green zone for this particular area, then what has to happen for you to be already in 10, like in the green zone for this particular area. So in this way what we do is, the first column tells us about the area, the second column tells us about what we are looking for. Like in the vacation example, the mountain or the ocean or the town, whatever we are looking for. And the last column is, based on that we are choosing the destination. Should I go to Portugal or Paris or Austria or Georgia, whatever it is. So with these columns fulfilled, we will have done half of the work. We would have clarified where we are standing and where we want to go based on what we want. So believe me, if you do this much, half of the work is already done. The second half, making the plan and collecting resources and taking action, those things we will take on in the next few days. And at the same time, don't you worry, we are also going to work with the inner world. So this marathon, this online intensive is not only about the outer achievements, it is primarily about the inner achievements. But no inner, you cannot find peace inside at the cost of imbalance outside. So outside must also be controlled and balanced. That is the reason we are starting with this thing. So I hope we will go step by steps. 40 days is a good enough time to create the long-lasting change. So please put your comments in the comment box. Please share your insights, your ideas, your opinions. We'll be waiting for them. and let's make the group more alive by alive discussions. I hope to see you tomorrow with a new insight and a new task for you. Until then, have a great day. Bye bye. Thank you. Namaste.